Hey, I'm Cyclon. We are now 4 days into the league, and I have to say, the meta, at least the league start meta, looks very diverse and very healthy. Now, taking a look at the different ascendancies and the different skills used, there's of course a focus on maps and a focus on zooming, at least on the very high usage. We have a 25% Deadeye being mostly split between Lightning Arrow and Tornado Shot, and there are different subvariants which we get to in a bit. But with this being the highest used, there is still 75% of the meta used by other skills, and this is again very diverse. We have Pathfinders, we have the classic Toxic Rains, we have the Scourge Arrow of Malice, which seems to be just the new flavor of the league, and it looks very promising, not just for poison but also for elemental, which I will get to later in the video. We have the Guardians and the Necromancers being our summoner boys, and I guess girls, having a magical Christmas land with all those new specters, with everything they can to try out. Animate weapon, falling zombies, summon raging spirits is there. Main focus on specters, support specters, absolution. I don't know. It just looks like they having a blast this league with all the new stuff they can tinker around with, and summoners seem to be very happy. We have the champions focusing mainly on Splitting Spear and Corrupting Fever, but also some tanky explosive arrows, tanky toxic rains, tanky summon raging spirits setups. So the champions seem to have their fun this league. We have the Detonate Dead Elementalists. There are also some, of course, explosive arrow Elementalists, and then the different other variations of just Ignite builds. So Ignite Elementalist is as strong as ever. We have Inquisitors being the Righteous Fire main focus ascendancy for the league. Or is it? I actually forgot to check. Juggernaut. Yeah, mainly Inquisitor for Righteous Fire this league, but also there's Stormbird of Indecision, which is as a second high used new Transfigured Gem, which has getting a lot of attention. And I think it's great to see Stormbird being used that early, at least as far as I know. It has always been a build more looked into a bit later into the league and less at league start. And then of course there are many other skills, many other builds that used. Hierophant Totems has been a flavor of the league. There is Shockwave Totem, there's Stormburst, there's the Siege Ballista Totem, which is used for deck stacking, and all the other different totems, Ball Lightning of Static. So Hierophant Totems is fun. Then of course there's Boneshatter, and there's Boneshatter with Juggernaut and with Slayer. The main focus is Boneshatter. It's a proven skill, it's a used skill, it just looks very good, and of course it is. And of course there's also the Saboteurs with their Hex Blast. Now, I'm not going to go and look in every other sense here, I just wanted to mention Hex Blast that exists, because it has been a very prominent skill last league. It has been had a lot of presence, especially in the Korean community. It was used a lot, it was used well, Sanctum was there new, and everybody was hyped about it, so it was made sense that Hex Blast Mines, which was mainly targeted for Sanctum running as far as I know, has been a very high target. But this league, with Affliction being an in-map mechanic, with Ultimatum being back, and with the Transfigured Gems, I think the focus is on maps for the league. So overall, a very diverse, very healthy meta. Like I said, I know there are the occultists there's the trickster with Frostblade, there's the occultist with Death Oath, there's the berserker with their General's Cry. I know that there are also other builds, but I want to go a more detailed look at the top builds more than overall mentioning every build that exists. So if we take just one final look before we go into detail, again we have Lightning Arrow and Tornado Shot being the bow builds at the most used skills. Then there's of course Artillery Ballista linking into that, there is War Lightning Arrow linking into that. Then we have the Summoners with Summon Raging Spirits at spot 2, Boneshatter at top 3, Detonate Dead and Wall Detonate Dead for also Ignite Elementalist at spot 4, Explosive Arrow linking into that again in Ignite Elementalist, and then we have the Scourge Arrow and Toxic Rain, so the dot builds on Pathfinder on spot number 5. There's the 5 league start build groups, I would say. So taking a closer look at those, or mostly at those, we have the classic approach to to the Tornado Shot to the Lightning Arrow. Harry's Ire, Artillery Ballista linked, and then a 6-link Lightning Arrow for clear. You're of course using the returning projector from last leaks. It's just really great. It has great damage, great clear. Of course there's a Shadow and Dust, and then we have as well the Sniper's Mark setup. Or well, with returning projector, actually personally can recommend Assassin's Mark over Sniper's Mark. And with the combination of Primalist or Warden, it just looks very promising as an Ascendancy. We have the Warden for early, we have the chance to get Flask effectiveness, we have the chance to get movement speed, we have the chance to get life if we don't use anything in the gloves. There's Detect Evil. It just looks like a very strong Ascendancy, or well, Affliction Ascendancy to have. And then we have the potential of Primalist. The additional inventory space is a great quality of life feature. I personally have been using it for the past, I would say, day and a half. Then there are the charms where I have huge potential, not just the normal +1 projectile. Now there's also very interesting charms with like Onslaught, Adrenaline, Flask Charges, Flask Effectiveness, base crit. There's big potential with these charms, and we have to see what everybody is figuring out and what the strongest is. As for tinctures, of course the tinctures as well, heavy potential. There's crit multi, there's crit chance, there is can shock, there's always can poison, there is rage, a chance to get in rage when you hit a rare or unique, meaning in something like a Legion where with Lightning Arrow Tornado Shot you hit like 20 rares at a time. That's gonna be a lot of rage. Maybe we see tinctures with Rage Flask. We see tinctures with the +2 arrows who have been hit recently Flask. We have to see where it goes, but both Warden and Primalist, great Ascendancy choices for bow builds. And of course the bow build Artillery Ballista, Mana Forged Arrows with Storm Rain, Mana Forged Mana Forged Arrows with Warlord's Mark, and Cast on Crit. Different variations of bow builds. There's a lot of stuff you can think around and adjust to make your perfect playstyle or make it perfectly fitting to your playstyle. Bow build is just in a really great spot, and if you want to do mapping, I can definitely recommend it. As personally for me, my league starter is for apparently this boy as well. Cold Conversion with Iron Spite, with Heat Shiver, just also been really great, really strong despite the nerf to Heat Shiver. It's been a great league set choice. I was able to do my Legions super early, being able to full clear them, transition to Nail Shot early. It just felt really great as an Ascendancy, and I just had my blast with it. So if you want to try that out too, it's really great, really recommendable. But of course there are also other Ascendancies I want to take a closer look. We have the Guardian, Summon Raging Spirits build, of course likely went for Radiant Crusade early, and then got their auras to early the Radiant of Crusade Sentinel, carrying them, then Summon Raging Spirits. I played it last league actually, it felt really great. It is of course not as fast as a bow build, so for me, for my preferred playstyle, I pivoted away from it, but it is overall just a really strong Ascendancy, a really great thing to pick up, and if you like minions, it's really great. And of course there is all that potential with Spectres. Where are they here? In this case they are in the gloves. Spectres, the potential of them, all the different variations you can do. As said, summoners are going to have the Blasters League. Of course there's also still the Poison variant using Severed in Sleep and the Covenant. It has been proven for a few leagues. It's really great for early Sanctum. It's really great for slow mapping, Expedition, Blights. It's just a really great build. And of course, again, Warden, not using anything in the boots. I really like the idea of utilizing a Bubonic Trial. So you have still the Abyss sockets that you can use. So you're only losing 2 gem spots instead of 4 gem spots. So you are using the Abyss jewels instead, of course, being really great for minion build. So again, just a really great and really solid build, utilizing the new and old techniques combined to just having a great overall and consistent build. Then of course we have the Boneshatter. I don't really have much to say about Boneshatter. There's a Juggernaut variant, there's a Slayer variant. I don't know which one is exactly for what. As far as I know, Slayer is more mapping and Juggernaut is more tanky focused. So Juggernaut more for simulacrum, more for delving, and then Slayer more for zooming through your maps, leap slamming, hitting, clearing, leap slamming, hitting, clearing, and repeat. I might have to try the build out at some point myself. But yeah, just the classic melee build. It's and I guess it's almost true melee. You hit something, of course, because of how a Boneshatter works, it still is good at clearing your screen, but it is hit something, break something, repeat. Just a classic melee approach. And then we have what I think is gonna be the flavor of the league. Scourge Arrow of Menace. Now, we have the poison approach, this league being very huge. There's been a lot of hyper leaks out about poison builds. Once they saw the all damage can poison tincture, once they saw Caustic Arrow of Poison, there has been a very big hype about poison build, but then they got Scourge Arrow of Menace, which is just an absolute game changer. This skill is an absolute screen clutter. What I've seen from this with Wilmer's Ray Critical, with Ballistas, you just have everything filled with these arrows. All the secondary arrows of this looks absurd. Now, this version, the poison version, of course uses Covenant for the added chaos damage, uses Azena's Gentle Touch for explosions, and then Temp Chains being great for poison. Of course, you can also increase your poison limit with like the Tree or Nasima, getting getting Despair for bosses, getting Enfeeble for survivability. And the very specific interaction is that all damage can poison and having a flat elemental bow. Now, from what I got explained and what I understood, is that poison usually always has the issue of you can have a lot of dot multi, a lot of scaling, a lot of duration, but the initial hit was never that big because you were limited to physical and limited to chaos damage. But now, with this league, with all damage can poison, you can use a 1.1, 1.2, 1.5k elemental DPS bow and just have a massive amount of elemental hit that will result in a massive amount of flat poison that then is going to be scaled by all your Ossosors, which you still have a lot of, so you just have massive amount of damage with poison builds, and this is why I think they're going to be really great this league. So if you want to try out poison, especially Scourge Arrow of Menace or Poison Caustic Arrow, do it this league. It looks very strong, very promising. And of course we have all the things that were promising on bow builds. We have the classic Dot Quiver, we have the potential of Thread of Hope in this spot to get the plus the additional projectiles. So yeah, I mean, for poison, it used to existing features for poison and then added Scourge Arrow of the Menace and the Tincture to just make an absurd build out of it. But it doesn't stop there. Scourge Arrow of the Menace is creeping into the bow meta for elemental bows. Now, I've seen a few builds already using it. I haven't seen gameplay, I just seen POBs. But utilizing again the utter screen clutter of arrows and combining it with returning projectiles. Now, for those that remember previous league with returning projectiles Lightning Arrow, or this league, or that have been using Vengeance Cascade 2 leagues ago, Crucible League, you had the Lightning Arrows going out in a cone, and as they returned, they went back in a cone. So you had a really great overlap of damage in front of you and behind you. But with Scourge Arrow of the Menace, this overlap, you still have it. You're shooting in front of you, it places the pots go outward. Instead of when you hit an enemy, it hits other enemies near it. Now you have those pots that screen sideways. So this is what I assume. Again, I haven't seen gameplay, but I'm gonna definitely try it out myself. The way I assume this is going to work, and it's going to work really well with this, is it's a mix between Lightning Arrow and Tornado Shot, basically, for us bow build players. You shoot out, you get the secondary projectiles going out, so you have the secondary projectile overlap like with Tornado Shot, the shotgunning like with Tornado Shot, but you have the quality of life with returning projectiles going in front of behind of you, and this has inbuilt all peers, meaning of course we can't chain fork or chain, so we can't use arrow math, but means we don't need to invest into peers. We free up a link, we free up a few passive points, so we can use the link for returning projectile, and we don't need to use the +2 peers we get from the tree. So this is just gonna be overall great. I think it's just gonna have a great blast with this build, and I'm definitely gonna try it out myself. So if you're curious of how it's going to be, I will be again live streaming on Twitch for the following days, and I will be making an update, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in the progress of Scourge Arrow of the Menace for elemental builds. But now, there's one more build I want to highlight. Of course, I know Toxic Rain exists, I know Detonate Dead exists, but those are proven builds. But what I want to highlight is this one. Well, any of these three. Stormbrand of Indecision. as we already seen, it has been used by Inquisitors mainly, and it has a lot of different applications again. It's just what we used to do later into the league, like going for a high investment energy shield build using energy blade. You can rush this now because this one works early. You can use it with Storm's Gift, Impulsors for explosion chains. You can use it with Annihilating Light for massive damage. You can use it for bossing. And of course you can also use it with Nebulous, Cold Conversion, as like a carry or a solo magic find build. There are so many applications for Stormbreath of Indecision. I think is also something that you should keep an eye on. And if you want to try out Stormbrand, or if you want to try out Brand builds, or if you want to try out Inquisition build, definitely give it a go this league. It looks very promising from what I've seen so far. And all that being said, video is long enough. If I forgotten any build, if you would have wished me to highlight a different build, if I explained anything about any build wrong or misunderstood anything, feel free to call me out in the description, in the comment, and I will pin it either on the video or I will add it to the description depending on how many things I got wrong. I can pin more than one comment. So feel free to call me out, I will adjust, I will mention it, and I will pin it, so other people can know as well, so the information isn't just lost and I'm going to give further wrong information. But if you have any questions, or if you are just curious, as always, feel free. You can make a comment, you can message me on Discord in the designated channel on my server, or DM me, and I will try to answer as quick as possible. All that being said, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.